Now, the next thing that we do is, after we talk about forgiveness, we want to explore our A game, the A game, right? Now, some of the key features of the A game is these three things right here. We want to explore empathy, acceptance, and forgiveness. Now, we all know what forgiveness is. We're going to learn a little bit about more acceptance, and then there's empathy. How many of you guys know what empathy is? If you raise your hand, I'm going to ask you to define it.
Empathy is like when you can relate to somebody what they're feeling, but like you feel bad for them or like you feel but you can't relate to it.
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I'm going to help you out with that one. So I would say that empathy is when we use our imagination. We want to use our imagination to hopefully put ourselves in that person's shoes as best as possible. Meaning, like, I can't feel what you're feeling right now, but I want to work really, really hard to feel what you feel, right? So that's what empathy is, right? So we talk about the A game. We want to exercise these three things. So let me explain to you what the A game is. The A game is a way in which we can exercise emotional intelligence. It's also a way that we can start to process kind of the moments that happen in our lives and also the emotions that come along with the moments. So I give you a quick example. I go through something. It's traumatic, it's triggering, right? I feel the emotion of insecurity and anger. Everybody with me? So once I go through this, once I experience this, the first thing I have to do is I have to acknowledge what I've been through. And I have to acknowledge the moments. There's a lot of times when we go through things and we don't acknowledge the moment, nor do we want to acknowledge the emotion, especially with dudes. We don't want to acknowledge that we are insecure in certain moments. We were scared in certain moments. We were fearful in certain moments, right? Listen, dude, if you go up and you got to lay up, right? You got to lay up. Ain't nobody behind you. Ain't nobody around you. If you go up and you hear footsteps and then you double clutch for no reason, that's got to be, I'm afraid, I'm insecure, something's happening. Because we've all had those moments where we went up and you went up so strong, you got hit and you didn't even realize it, and you finished the and and guys are falling all over you and you just land on your feet. In that moment you felt confident, right? But there's moments when you go and you're like, pat, 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 and then you look, next thing you know, you blowing a bun, right? It happens from time to time. But at that moment, you can't acknowledge the fact that maybe I was intimidated. Maybe I thought little buddy was about to block my shot. Maybe I thought big boy was about to block my shot, right? So we have to acknowledge the moment and we have to acknowledge the emotion that comes with it. Everybody with me? All right, now this is where we really got to rock and roll. We got to get deep into it. The acceptance part. At some point, I have to accept my emotions enough to make friends with them. So I'm working with two emotions. I got insecurity and I got anger. Everybody with me? So what I got to do is I got to make friends with them. Oftentimes what we do is when we feel something and we get triggered, what we do is we have a tendency to detach from ourselves. We want to detach from ourselves when we go through things, because when I can detach from myself, I get an opportunity to now point the finger, blame, shame, and judge. So how does this happen? You do something to me, and now I get the chance to say, Zach, man, look what you made me do. Remind you, I'm detached from myself. I'm having an out-of-body experience. I'm really right there, but I detach, and now I'm pointing the blame. Look what you made me do. Look, you made me look stupid. You made me look dumb. Look at all, everybody's laughing at me all because of you. Judging, right? Sometimes we do this to ourselves. You do something inadvertently, you make a mistake, right? Now I'm like, well, I'm sorry, the other way. Now I may do this to myself. I do something to you inadvertently, now I'm doing this to myself. Marv, how could you be so stupid? Look what you did to Zach. Look, you just ruined his life. How could you be so irresponsible, so stupid? And a lot of times what we do is we make these judgments and then we define people by these judgments. We define ourselves by these moments and we just judge ourselves too harshly. And it becomes a burden. It becomes a burden that we're unable to shake. And next thing you know, we can't move forward in life. So what we have to do is we have to accept our emotions enough to make friends with them. So Instead of me detaching from the moment, I want to stay connected to the moment, right? And again, this is life, this is sports, this is all your relationships. I want to stay connected so I can say, all right, insecurity, where did you come from? Where you come from, insecurity? Imagine security just sits next to you. Like, where did you come from? And that's when insecurity might say, Marv, you know where I came from. Remember when you was 5 years old, right? And you wanted to sing and dance? And so you sang and danced for the family, right? You sang and danced for the family. And everybody clowned you. They laughed at you, they teased you, they mocked you. You dropped your instrument, you ran up the stairs, they were still clowning you. Still clowning you. And everything that you loved, you did it behind closed doors. Everything you was passionate about, you did it behind closed doors because you didn't want to be mocked and teased anymore. And this went on for years. Not only did it go on for years, but it started to fall in other areas of your life. So everything that you loved, everything, you did it behind closed doors. Here you are an extrovert. You are an extrovert by nature. All you want to do is be out in front, sing and dance and bring people together with your energy, with your talent. But you decided to be an introvert and never ever show the world how gifted you were. And you did this not only at 5, but 6, 7, 10, 15. Now here you are 25, wondering why you're so miserable because you've been living life like an introvert when all your life you've been an extrovert who wanted to sing and dance. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody with me? So now when I come to that realization, I can say, oh, I got it now. That's why I had to go through what I went through. See, here Zach was pissing me off, or I made a revelation because I made a mistake, but because of this moment and the emotion that came from it, I was able to make friends with my emotion, and from there I was able to understand that's why I had to go through what I went through. Now the beauty starts to happen. Now I can appreciate what I've been through. Now I learn how to appreciate my tough times, my darkness, right? Being alone. All those moments where you felt insecure, emotional, scared, afraid, you felt stupid, you felt unloved, unlovable. All those times when you didn't feel right, you didn't feel good, he was trying to get your attention and let you know, listen, you gotta build, you gotta get strong in this area. And if you don't get strong in this area, this is gonna continue. Throughout your life, it's gonna continue. See, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you, so you gotta process these emotions properly, right? If it's devastating enough, maybe you might need a counselor. Maybe you might need a session with Dean Rashi. But some of this stuff you gotta process. You think about when you get pissed off and you come out the game and you on the bench, you mad, but why? Why? Are you mad because you came out and maybe you thought you was rocking and rolling? Or are you mad because your shots ain't falling or you ain't getting touches? It is what it is. The reason is whatever the reason is, but you have to ask yourself, why am I so upset? Because if I don't get out of this funk, there's a good chance I'm gonna go back in the game with that same funk, and next thing I know, my whole game's been compromised. Now I turned a decent game where I was rocking and rolling into a poor game. Does that make sense? But the second that we can understand our tough times and why the tough times are necessary, now we can appreciate them and now we can accelerate with what we need and leave behind the stuff that we don't. Does that make sense? So when we start thinking about the black experience, not only do black folks have to do this, not only do we have to acknowledge our past, our history, our current situation, we have to accept them. Not accepting them meaning I'm just gonna let everybody just do whatever they want to me, but understanding as I fight, as I march forward, as I fight for what I want in this world, what can I accept? What moments are happening and what are the moments that are attached to them that I can accept so I can make friends with these emotions and understand where I need to grow. And then once I made that growth, now I can appreciate my struggle. I can appreciate my grind. I can appreciate those moments when times was dark, times was tough. I couldn't see daylight. I can appreciate it. And now I can accelerate with what I need, leaving back the stuff that I don't.